Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
What is up, Thick fam? It is Monday morning, June 27th. Oh man, big week. UFC 276. Finally, we got ourselves a big boy pay-per-view, and I am so freaking excited. We also finally have a Calabasas fight companion for this big-ass card as well. So that is this mother trucking Saturday, baby. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. This card is stacked, and we will get to that shortly. But, man, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. You only got 4 fights on the main card as of now because Misha Tate's fight was canceled.
Lauren Murphy had COVID. She finally told everyone why she had to.
I mean, at least out of all the things, like, you know.
Yeah.
She's going to be fine, you know. God willing, she's fine, healthy girl. So at least that's one you could just reschedule if they want. I doubt they find the week of replacement. I bet you there's, behind the scenes, I bet you there's a lot of girls putting their hands up to fight Misha Tate.
Yeah,
I mean, she's a huge name. So, we love Misha Tate here. You guys know this. We love Misha Tate. So, hopefully it all works out for her. But before we get into this juicy, thick UFC 276 main card, there were some fights over the weekend, kids. So let's recap that really quick, and then we will get into all the juicy breakdown of UFC 276. You had a great fight night. I was able to watch some of the prelims, and then I had to do a set in, I guess it'd be called Culver City, Jam in the Van. Different venue. It was off Motor there, kind of, I guess that. Mar Vista, maybe? I don't know. But either way, I was able to record the fights, and I watched it at midnight, and it did not disappoint. It was a fight night that was, full of monsters and great matchups. This fight night card had better matchups. This might surprise the casuals, but the fight night last Saturday had better stylistic fights, more equal fights, better matchups than UFC 276. UFC 276 is a lot of mismatches, and not because the other fighters aren't good or one guy's just that much better. It's just styles make fights, and in these main card fights, a lot of it is favored towards the UFC stars, and we will get to that. But that was not the case on the fight night here, because you had Gamrot versus Arman. Phenomenal fight. 2 of the highest level lightweights on the planet going at it. And your boy Gamrot was down 0-2 in the first 2 rounds. And then really this fight was predicated off that 3rd round. Depending how you score that. But I definitely thought Gamrot won this fight. Stays on the feet. I think he's 20-0 now. I don't think Arman loses any momentum here. I think both these guys are going to get a big name fight next. It just shows you, where these guys are ranked and how deep 155 is in the UFC. It's insane. These guys are so goddamn good. Their transitions, their grappling, their strike. I mean, they're good at everything, dude. They're so freaking good. So good. So yeah, I think Gamrot, he called out some big names. I think he asked for Gaethje next. Definitely don't think you're getting that, my man, but you're definitely getting a big fight next. Definitely. And so is Arman. Like, dude, I don't know who's going to. I'll say this. Same thing Keith Jardine told me after I lost my first fight. He goes, I feel sorry for the guy you have to fight next. It'd be the exact same thing I tell Arman, because that kid is so goddamn skilled. Handsome bastard, too. Armenian, I think, but he trains out of Dagestan. Handsome bastard. God damn, dude. Great fight, though. Really, really good fight. On the other end, in the co-main event, you had my boy Neil Magny, who I nicknamed the Gazelle, and he has changed his nickname, and I'm offended. But Neil Magny has been a staple of the welterweight division. He's just kind of been this low-key dude who's setting records and fight time and wins and stuff like that. But he's not a flashy guy. He's not going to do a hot promo into the mic. So he doesn't get the credit he deserves. They did him no favors in any facet. They threw him to the motherfucking wolves. When Shavkat, man, this dude, if you're a Hamzat fan, this dude is the next, same vibe as the Hamzat there. This dude is scary. And what he did to Neil Magny and the way he got it done, he's going to be a problem, man. This kid is a fucking welterweight again. And 170 at UFC is jam-packed. It is jam-packed like the 405 in California during rush hour. It is full of dope-ass fighters, talented fighters from top to bottom. Because Shavkat, I don't know. We haven't seen any chinks in the armor. And, Neil Magny is a big one for him. And he absolutely mopped the floor with him. And, I think he got on the mic and he called out Nick Diaz, Jorge Masvidal. Again, those ain't happening, my man. Gamrot calls out Gaethje. God bless you. And these guys are shooting for the moon, and they're going to land on the stars. Shavkat, they're definitely. I could see him giving him Wonder Boy. Again, the UFC is, I would assume on their Monday morning meeting today, Shavkat is a guy they're going to ride and die on. Like his test was Neil Magny, but I would be willing to bet they were all secretly cheering for Shavkat. Neil Magny's had his run. He's not a big draw. He's not a big, I don't want to say fan favorite because people love Neil, but Shavkat, there's something special there. And they want something special. Special is what gets the big boy money. The special guys that can check all boxes like Shavkat, those special fighters are the green elephant in the circus when everybody's great. And that's Shavkat is if you guys haven't caught on to his wave yet, I'm fucking telling you, this guy is a problem. So depending on what they want to do with him, after beating Neil Magny, especially the way you beat him, pretty flawless victory. Yeah, man, I could see Wonder Boy being next. And again, with the UFC, if Wonder Boy's a towel, they're wringing this thing out, man. They're wringing this thing out. So you beat Neil Magny at 10. He's ranked 15. Yeah, you got Pierre fighting this weekend, which we'll get into. I don't think you kill off two of your young, hungry lions, especially that Philadelphia lion and Sean Brady. I don't like that. That would be stupid, but you never know what they're going to do. God, man, after you beat 10, yeah, Wonder Boy's right there. Vicente Luque would be a fantastic fight. I mean, if you do Shavkat Hamzat, Shavkat Hamzat.
Yeah, that'd be
Shavkat Hamzat.
Yep.
I mean, it's insane. Good luck marking that to Americans. Shavkat Hamzat. Shavkat Hamzat. ESPN be like, wait, what? Yeah, bitch, they're taking over. I told you guys. What Shavkat's background is what? I mean, he's definitely from the same area. It's like, dude is a problem. He puts on that hat and it's just fucking over. This dude is, oh my God. Uzbekistan. Shirchi district, Uzbekistan. Style Sambo. Yeah. Look at this fucking kid. His grandfather name was Rahman. Had to take a surname with a local flavor. His father, Jesus Christ, this dude is. Shavkat is from the Antonbai clan of Junior Zeus.
It's very different.
Shavkat's sister is also a MMA fighter. Yeah, no shit. He's just a fucking problem, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. What are they gonna do with this guy? Who the fuck's gonna sign up to fight these guys, man? It's a problem. It's a goddamn problem. Card was great from top to bottom, though. Really, really fun matchups. I would say the biggest story over the weekend was our boy Big Dick Energy Mousasi lost his fight, and not only did he lose, but he got handled. I would say he got kind of hurt early on, and then Johnny Eblin just kind of took it to him. It was his fight. He never let Gegard get started, and just kind of mollywopped him for 5 rounds, which is damn very surprising. Even though Johnny's undefeated. You shouldn't see this coming with a guy like Gegard, because it's very rare Gegard gets outclassed like that. Uriah Hall did the spinning back kick into the body, hurt him, but he had some kind of damage he took when he was fighting overseas and stuff like that. But other than that, Mousasi's such a veteran. It's very rare he just gets outclassed like this. So it might be you don't want to take anything away from Johnny, because he actually did the goddamn thing. He's, ATT undefeated fighter. So the kid's a problem, man. For Gegard, that has to be a little disheartening, at his age. So hopefully the big dick energy comes back. But it was tough to watch Gegard lose like that, man. Very tough. But shout out to Johnny, man. Undefeated fighter. What's interesting about him is he actually has a tie towards one of the main fighters on UFC 276, because to get ready for Gegard, he trained with Sean Strickland. They're training partners. Okay. So you got to imagine Johnny going against a guy like Strickland to get ready for Gegard was, tremendously helpful. Mm-hmm. But then also for Strickland to have a guy like Johnny with his grappling and his takedown ability, Strickland likes to strike. He likes to strike, but I'm sure, going with Johnny, defend the takedowns, but also to get Johnny down, you have to get pretty creative. You're not just going to be able to shoot him for a single leg. There's going to have to be some chain wrestling, some feint setups to get the guy down. So that's going to help Strickland. If he fights smart, it's a big if. We'll get into it. That's a big if he fights smart against Pereira, because he's going to need it, because Pereira's striking is second to none when it comes to the welterweight division. You're talking about a guy who has, beat Izzy twice, won by KO. But I don't put too much into that. Let's get into UFC 276. I don't put too much into that. Mm-hmm. I clearly, Alex Pereira is getting this shot against Sean Strickland. Has he earned it? No, God, no. But there's a reason why they're doing it, because they need fresh meat for Izzy. Because after Jared Cannonier, there's not a lot for him. He's kind of cleaned out the division. So this Alex Pereira, like I told you, has beat Izzy twice in kickboxing only. I do not think he beats Izzy in MMA. But again, as I told you guys early on in this episode, is this UFC 276 is it's not mismatches. I wouldn't describe it as mismatches. I would describe it as perfect fights for the favorites. Because with Izzy, Jared Cannonier, now can Cannonier beat most of the division? Yeah. Yep. Matches up awful against Izzy. Awful matchup for him. He's slow. It's such a very, very tough matchup for Jared Cannonier. Very tough matchup for him. It's a perfect fight for Izzy to get a finish and just to build his star power for the UFC. He can light Jared up like a Christmas tree. I do think people are going to be surprised how tough fucking Jared Cannonier is. I think it's going to be a tougher fight than you think. Izzy mentioned that this is going to be his Spider versus Forrest Griffin fight. If you remember that fight, where he's kind of, outclassed, some more athletic, pulled the Matrix moves off. This is a matchup where Izzy could probably get that done. The knock on Izzy, and it's not coming from me. The knock on Izzy is, he can kind of play it safe and doesn't get finishes in title fights. But listen, you're fighting the best of the best, man. There's no knock on you. You do what you got to do, So I'm not part of that chatter when it comes to Izzy. Again, I think he's the best we have to offer. And when you talk about Alex Pereira, and that's the whole narrative here, and Izzy's always referring to him. The only fight on this main card that isn't perfect for the champ as far as style wise is Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Phenomenal fucking fight. Yeah. Phenomenal fight. When you look at Pedro Munhoz, Sean O'Malley, again, it's a big step up in competition for Sean O'Malley, who I do think it's time. I love what they've done with him and slowed play it and let him get experience and come off the Dana White Contender Series, and he's building his name outside the octagon, and he's one of the biggest stars. He has a new contract. I know he's getting paid. Also, our boy Patty just signed a new contract. He's also getting paid. So UFC is starting to pay these big names, because the issue they're having now is guys like Sean O'Malley and Patty Pimblett, they don't have to fight. They're making so much goddamn money outside the octagon. The UFC doesn't have a lot of power over them anymore. It's fantastic. You got to be an outlier. You got to be a unicorn like Sean O'Malley or Patty Pimblett in order to make this type of money. But God bless them, they have this option where they don't. When the UFC goes jump, they go, "Nah, I'm not jumping August 7th. Nah, I'm good, man. I make too much money doing other things." And they go, "Okay, well, jump October 5th." I went, "Let me check my schedule." First time in the history of fighting we have guys like this, so it's fantastic. So for Sean O'Malley, who's finally, I don't want to say finally, but he's a guy you guys want him to see fight. Oh my God, Dominic Cruz, and we want to see the Cody Garbrandt fight. I definitely did before Cody lost his last one, and the big knock on him if you're a hater on Sugar Sean, and he has them, but he also has a lot more fans than haters. But with Sugar Sean is, he's not fighting top 10 guys. Well, he's not getting paid like top 10 guys. So now he's there, and Pedro Munhoz is a guy. Where they got Pedro at right now? They got him at 10. Sorry, he's a top 10 guy. Sean's at 13. So, this is a fight for Sean O'Malley where his management, whoever's just handling his career, they should be so overwhelmed by applications from other UFC fighters. They've been so smart about it. They've built his career perfectly. Darren Till should be applying to this from day one. There's certain fighters that should be applying to work with Sugar Sean's management nonstop. He should have 100 emails every morning when he wakes up. I don't know who his manager is. Every morning they should wake up, because the way that they've handled Sugar Sean's career has never been done before. And I'm sure they take heat for it. I'm sure the UFC, tries to blackball them. And whoever it is just doing the goddamn thing, and they're doing it flawlessly. Because, for Sugar Sean, finally they pay him, and the UFC goes, "All right, man, it's time to get going now." And then they go, "Okay, well, you want to fight someone in the top 10? Who's the best stylistically matchup for us?" Well, Pedro Munhoz, a pretty goddamn near perfect style matchup for a guy in the top 10. Pedro Munhoz is a guy who, grappling, shit. You go back to the rankings as far as it comes straight jiu-jitsu with Pedro Munhoz. God, in the top, by far the best jiu-jitsu in the top 10, by far. You're talking about a guy who had over probably 700 jiu-jitsu matches, former 2-time world champion, so absolute world class on the ground when it comes to jiu-jitsu. So those are feathers in Sugar Sean's hat if you can get past a guy like Pedro Munhoz. Again, stylistically, Pedro Munhoz, not known for his footwork, not known for his striking, does have big power, not really known for his wrestling. So for Sugar Sean, a guy with his footwork, his range, it's a perfect stylistic fight for him. For his first time fighting a big dog in the top 10. You couldn't have picked a better fight. Perfect fight. Now, being said, it's his toughest fight. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a walk in the park for Sugar Sean, but if you're going to look at the top 10 and go, how's our best way to get to the top 10, to beat a guy in the top 10? You look at that entire list, Pedro Munhoz. Mm-hmm. Not great footwork, shorter, not a striker, not really a phenomenal wrestler. Has the jiu-jitsu wrestling, which, is easier to navigate if you're Sugar Sean. Sugar Sean's reach and, again, footwork and quickness is going to be the difference. This thing, you can stay, on the outside and light him up and lead and frustrate Pedro Munhoz and hopefully get the finish. Now, here's the thing. Again, his management, who's dealing with Sugar Sean, is so brilliant because Pedro Munhoz has never been finished. So if Sugar Sean were to get a finish, that's huge. But it's also a 3-round fight, main card, huge UFC pay-per-view, which nothing new to Sugar Sean, but it allows him to showcase his talents against a top 10 guy. He's going to be able to release the Kraken on him as far as his striking goes. On the jab, mixing it up, southpaw, traditional. It's going to be a long night for Pedro Munhoz. Unless Pedro can get him down early and wear him out, that's a lot easier said than done. People want to knock on Sugar Sean's, wrestling and grappling abilities. The dude can his jiu-jitsu is good, man. He's not going to be a fish out of water if it does go on the ground. But if you are a Pedro Munhoz fan and he gets Sugar Sean down early, you're going to be rock hard. because that's his best way to get it done. I think that's easier said than done for Pedro Munhoz. I think it's a long night in the office for him. And that's saying a lot. Pedro Munhoz is fantastic. Fantastic. But stylistically, there could not be a better matchup than Pedro Munhoz for Sugar Sean. It's ideal. Mm-hmm. Same thing goes for Pereira. For our boy Alex Pereira, you know, him not really being ranked that high, and to get a guy in Sean Strickland, clearly Sean Strickland is going to fight anybody they throw him, and it's, you know, very clear here because he's fighting a guy unranked, and he's ranked number 4. There's really no business or reasoning why this fight's going on besides to get Pereira to a title shot against Izzy because Izzy needs fresh meat. That's the only thing going on here. Now, if you're Pereira and you're his management, there couldn't be a better matchup in the top 15 than Sean Strickland, because Sean Strickland fancies himself a striker. He does not have the background of Pereira, but he is, I would say, tougher than Pereira. Obviously has the experience in the UFC on his side. Obviously has big fight energy on his side. So this fight to me is predicated off Sean Strickland's ego. Is his fight ego gonna win, or is, you know, the dog in him who wants to, you know, fancy himself a striker and try to get done against, honestly, by far the best striker in the middleweight division, as far as straight kickboxing goes? I do not think he's a better MMA striker than Izzy. I don't. I know his background, he beat Izzy. Cool. When it comes to MMA, I think Izzy's more creative and has more tools to get it done against top tier guys. We'll see. I could be wrong. But as of now, I'm dead on. So I do think for Sean Strickland, this is a matter of him fighting smart, not fighting with his heart. He needs to fight with his brain, because if you're just going to strike with this Pereira guy, it's going to be a highlight reel knockout for him. And, you know, Sean Strickland's as tough as they come, and he's beat some good guys. And, you know, as far as mentally goes, there's nobody tougher than this fucking guy. But, you know, when you're talking about a world-class striker in Alex Pereira, that's what he wants, man. So I'm hoping with Sean Strickland training with the Bellator champion with wrestling and grappling, he's going to at least attempt takedowns so Pereira just can't walk forward and tee off. That's what you got to hope for. But, you know, look at his fucking record. He's doing work, man. Mm-hmm. He's doing work. But, you know, Strickland does love to strike. And they what they say is in training camp, in sparring, he just spars, man. He just goes. Mm. He's notoriously known. He just goes. He goes, man. And you better bring your mouthpiece when you're sparring him. This dude goes. So, again, if you are a Pereira fan, there couldn't be a better guy in the top 15 for him to showcase his talents against than Sean Strickland. If Sean Strickland is trying to please the UFC and wants to just have a stand-up war, it's tough, man. Sean Strickland needs to make this thing dirty, incorporate some grappling, make it a phone booth fight, make it get dirty, Sean. And he knows this. He's a smart fucking dude. He knows this. But again, if his ego goes, I can knock out this world-class striker, man, you're messing with fire. You're messing with fire. I think by far the best fight on the card, they're all fucking great. On the main card, they're all great. I'm into all of them. It's very rare I'm into all of them. Some of them are like, come on, can't wait for this one to get over to get to the next fight. All 4 of these, dude, take my money. Any one of these could be a main event, and I'd pay for it. But I do think the most competitive, best fight on the card is Volkanovski, Max Holloway 3. By far. You know, we had Volkanovski on Food Truck, and I said, you know, obviously I'm biased, and what's tough now is now me and Volkanovski are boys. I love Max Holloway. He's one of my favorite people on the goddamn planet. He's such a good person. I love how good of a dad he is, and just, you know, y'all must have forgot, because I think because Max Holloway, you know, you saw him lose that Dustin Poirier fight or something like that. At featherweight, that dude is damn near impossible to beat. Unless your name's Alexander Volkanovski, you ain't beating him. His last loss besides Alexander Volkanovski was to, ready? Conor McGregor. That was a hot second ago at 45. Hot second ago, dude. So for Max Holloway, you know, he is a featherweight king. So I'm saying over a longer period of time, I'll say Alexander Volkanovski is the champion. So for Alexander Volkanovski, when he was on Food Truck, I was telling him, I just feel like for him to get the credit that he deserves, whether he cares or not, I don't know. But in order for him to get the credit in America, you have to convincingly beat Max Holloway. You have to close that chapter. This is how they close the chapter. This is exactly how they do it. Unless Max wins, then we're going to get a fourth fight. Again, take my money because I'll watch him fight every fucking Saturday. A lot of experts and former fighters who are now analysts will say Max Holloway needs the perfect performance like he had against Kattar or against Ortega. No shit, dude. Oh, you mean to become the featherweight champion of the world, he has to have a good performance? No shit. It's very rare Max doesn't have a great performance. Again, there seems to be, y'all must have forgot how fucking good the blessed one is, man. But Alexander Volkanovski is getting better. Now, if you're going based off their last few fights, especially their last fight with Alex Volkanovski fighting Korean Zombie, it's tough to tell where he's at. Obviously, he looked phenomenal in that goddamn fight. Phenomenal. Amazing. Now, is that a case of Volkanovski improving, or is Korean Zombie getting old and has one fight left and he's retire? Took the fight in short notice. The Brian Ortega fight, he showed you that he's a guy you can count on. He's a guy who got in trouble. He's a guy who I think 99% of the roster would submit to that guillotine choke Brian Ortega had in, and he was willing to go out, and somehow he got out of it and went on to win that fight. So I think that really built Volkanovski's career that you can count on. You can count him as a champion. So if you're going to tell me who has had better performances in their last two fights after the last time they fought in 2020, I would say I've seen more improvement over Max Holloway. That's not a knock on Volkanovski. I'm just saying, if you like Max Holloway, what he did in the Yair Rodriguez fight, what he did in the Calvin Kattar fight, not bad. Not bad. You can't tell me he hasn't gotten better at his age, dude. And again, at featherweight, Max is damn near impossible to beat. Damn near impossible. Alexander Volkanovski has to have a flawless performance. Again, both of these motherfuckers show up. So to say, Max has to have a flawless performance, no shit. To beat Volkanovski, you better have a flawless performance. It's very rare Max Holloway didn't show up. If you look at I don't think he's never not shown up. Even the Dustin Poirier fight, he's just too small. He showed the fuck up. The two Volkanovski fights, showed the fuck up. I had him win that second one. Lost the first one, I'll give you that. I thought he won the second one, doesn't matter. But there's a reason why he's 0-2 and they're giving him another fucking title shot. There's a reason. So I think this is by far the most competitive fight on the card. This fight, to me, is just who is the featherweight king? Who is the pound-for-pound featherweight king? Volkanovski or Max Holloway? We're going to find out on Saturday. Hard for me not to cheer for Max Holloway. Also hard for me not to cheer for Volkanovski. I love fucking both of them. Volkanovski was such a fun food truck. We shared whiskey. He's just a good dude, family dude. He wanted to get back home because he missed his kids. Great dude. And then Max Holloway just married that dime piece. He has a son. He's doing the goddamn thing. But you almost have forgot about Max Holloway at featherweight, dude. He is damn near the best we've ever had. Yeah, I would say probably is. If you look at the history of what he's done at featherweight. The whole card is fantastic. But if I have to give picks, I would take Izzy. I do think it's a tougher fight than most people think. There was a bigger gap between Anderson Silva and Forrest Griffin than there is Izzy and Jared Cannonier. Cannonier is a motherfucking dog. Big, powerful. The speed is going to be the problem there for Jared. Now, is Jared watching the Jan fight and going, all right, this is how you do it? Maybe. That's way easier said than done at 85. I think for Izzy, if Pereira has like some crazy, flying knee knockout, obviously that builds that fight tremendously. But if Pereira were to lose, you'd probably give Sean Strickland. Because here's the thing. At Sean Strickland at 4, if Sean Strickland beats Alex Pereira, is he guaranteed a title shot?
No.
Because we know 100% if Alex beats Sean Strickland, he's going title shot. There's no ands, if, buts about it. That's happening for a fact. That's the only reason he's not ranked fighting number 4 guy. They want to get that going. So, for Izzy, again, there's a reason why Alex Pereira not ranked. Only his, third, fourth fight in the UFC is fighting Sean Strickland. They need fresh meat for Izzy. So for Izzy, it's a bit of, if Alex wins, clearly you're fighting Alex, or you're fighting Sean Strickland. Okay. Stylistically, great matchups for Izzy. Again, he'd be favored in both those fights. So there's not a lot at middleweight for him. I do think light heavyweight is Izzy's next accomplishment. And especially now that Jan's out of the picture being not champ, the matchup for him up there is so much better. So much better. So I do think that's his future. I think it's just a matter of time. He's going to go back to 205. The Jan experiment was just a nightmare. So I do think with these other light heavyweights, there's definitely a fun matchup for Izzy, and they'd be striking wars. Not a guy who's going to lay and prey on him. The bigger guy, probably walking at 240 and just going to lay on him. I think Izzy at 205, depending who's the champion, can definitely be your light heavyweight champion. I really do. And when he's on Food Truck, you'll see, he goes, man, I'm telling you, people keep thinking I'm small. I'm not small. I was like, no, you're not at all. You're bigger than me, dude. I fought a heavyweight. Fuck. Izzy's a freak, man. Izzy's a freak, and also, obviously, Khabib was their biggest international star, but I would say Izzy's their biggest star internationally. I think pay-per-view wise, obviously Conor is still, but as far as active, current, tip of the spear champions, Izzy's your biggest star. The guy checks all fucking boxes. He does his YouTube channel, blows the fuck up, like anything he touches. He crosses over too. He's into anime and shit. And he's on talking shit on social media, I think, playing video games and shit. Mm-hmm. Drives a McLaren, even though he doesn't know cars. I told him I'd race him if he ever came out here. So that's cool. But I can't wait for this UFC 276. And then also, I know they're looking for a replacement for Misha Tate. Hey, UFC, do me a favor. Show a little respect. Either put Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena on the opening main card bout, or how about you put Jim Miller, Donald Cerrone on there? We don't need Jim Miller, Donald Cerrone. Open up the prelims. That is offensive. I know, it's ABC. Who gives a shit? Put those guys on the main card and pay-per-view. You tell me Jim Miller, Donald Cerrone to open up pay-per-view wouldn't get everybody's dick hard? Or Robbie, I'll tell you right now, Robbie Lawler, Brian Barberena, that thing ain't going decision. And if it does, you got fight of the night. So either way, you're getting a dope-ass knockout or you're going to fight of the night. You put that on the main card. Brad Riddle and Turner's fantastic fight too. You could easily have them open that up. Easily. Ian Gary, I mean, goddamn. Yeah, you're at Hall on there. Jessica I, Brad Tavares. Jessica Rose Clark. I mean, pick any of them, dude. Pick any of them, for God's sakes. But just for out of sheer respect, if you don't add Robbie Lawler or Donald Cerrone to the main card, it's rude. It's just rude, man. I hope they figure it out.
The Robbie Barberena one, that's for sure.
That's a fun fight.
Yeah.
Jim Miller, Cerrone's fun too.
True. But I still
two
want
old
Robbie.
heads.
Yeah.
Two Hall of Famers. You got a favorite in that Robbie Lawler, Brian Barberena one, Chin? Robbie Lawler is the slight, he's a favorite.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
I kind of feel like Brian will take it.
Brian will, the only thing with this is, agree. So I'm going to do my DraftKings picks. Mm-hmm. And I love Robbie Lawler. Absolutely love him. Legend of the sport. But as far if you want to make money, when I pick my DraftKings bets, I want you guys to make money. It's not a bad idea to put some money on Brian Barberena because it's basically a pick 'em. Minus 125, you have to put 125 out to make 100. With Brian Barberena, it's even money. And with that fight, Brian Barberena does get hit, but Robbie Lawler is a slow starter. Brian's a monster in that first round. I could see Brian winning the first round. I'm putting money on it. I'm telling you guys to put money on it. Yeah, look, dude, Sean Strickland, Alex Pereira, minus 115, minus 105. Volkanovski, minus 190. Max Holloway, plus 160.
Interesting.
And then Izzy, biggest favorite on the card, minus 365. Oof. I can't wait for this freaking card. Can't wait to do a companion. It's going to be so much fun, man. Let's take a little break before we have my boy Josh Emmett on. He's going to break down the UFC 276 big matchups for you guys. But hopefully you guys get enough sleep, man, because I know you're cranky right now. Inflation's popping. You guys are stressed out about politics or sports, whatever it is, man. And one of the reasons you're not getting good sleep is because your mattress sucks. Yeah, your mattress really sucks because you don't have a Helix sleep mattress. That's what I have in my crib. That's what I sleep on. All my guest rooms have it. I can't get rid of my in-laws. I can't get rid of my friends. It's not because they like me. It's because they love these mattresses. Helix Sleep Mattress. It's not a mattress for just anybody, man. It's the mattress made just for you. Yep, my friends at Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete. It matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress just for you. All right? Whatever you like, side sleeper, stomach sleeper, you sleep hot, cold, you want it firm, soft, whatever it is, we got the exact mattress for your thick ass. You don't need to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress in 2019 and 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. All right? Wired Magazine. Again, I have them in all my house. I sleep on every night. I sleep like a goddamn baby. All right? Just go to helixsleep.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz. You'll get a customized mattress that will give you your best sleep ever. They have a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you also don't worry about that. Helix Sleep is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and free pillows for all the listeners and viewers of the Schaub Show. helixsleep.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. That's helixsleep.com/Schaub for up to $200 off. UFC 276 is here, kids. And you can watch it. You can watch the Cowboys Fight Companion 7 p.m. Pacific live on the Thick Boy YouTube. You can watch all of that. You can watch the main pay-per-view. You watch my Cowboys Fight Companion. And you can also make money with my friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. New customers can bet $5 on any fighter to win and get $100 in free bets, win or lose. Whether it's Izzy with a knockout kick or powerful punch, or Cannonier gets it done by decision, you win no matter what. And with DraftKings same game parlays, you can turn another small bet into a big payday. Combine multiple bets like which fighter will win, number of knockouts, and more. For UFC 276, you can place a same game parlay. If it hits, you win double. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code SCHAUB, SCHAUB. Bet $5 on any UFC 276 fighter to win. You get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's code SCHAUB this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. DraftKings. All right, Jim, what do you got? We got Josh Emmett on the phone?
Yeah, we got Josh Emmett.
Oh, my God. Let's do it, Jim.
Let's do it.
Mr. Josh Emmett, the #4 man in the world. How's that feel? How's that sound to you, being ranked #4 now?
Man, it doesn't. I guess it seems all right. You know, I always feel like the numbers. I don't really care too much about rankings, just because I feel like the UFC manipulates those numbers based off of who they want to fight.
Fair point.
But it is what it is. It's getting me closer and closer to that title shot, and I feel like I'm next, regardless of the outcome on July 2nd. I feel like I get the winner.
Yeah, I agree. The only reason if I was still fighting, I'd care about the rankings is because it just gives you kind of a blueprint on how close you are to the title shot. But to the opposite of that, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes a guy who's not ranked or a guy who hasn't been fighting will just jump in there and get a title shot. But for a guy like you who's been really earning his way, more so than most people to get that title shot, man, you are right there. So when I saw they ranked you #4, it's like, oh shit, yeah, we're getting close, man. We're getting freaking close.
Yeah, and that's what I assumed I would take. Kattar's ranking. He was ranked #4, so I felt at least I would be 4. But I still feel like that was a title eliminator fight. I feel like it was the #1 contender spot, and so that's why I'm just gunning for this this title shot so bad. I feel like I've been putting in the work for so long, and I feel like I've earned it.
I couldn't agree more. You've earned it more so than anybody. I think too. Kattar's my boy. We had Kattar on the week when you guys fought. Kattar is a buddy of mine, and so I'm a little biased, and you and I haven't spoke, so hopefully you don't get mad at me. But I was rooting for Kattar, and I was on stage, so I missed your guys' main event, but I recorded it. And I had, my buddies text me about the fight and stuff like that. And because I am a biased, personality in the spot, if I'm close to somebody, before I watched the fight, I went, and I've always been a fan of yours. You're a monster. But I was like, all right, my plan is to come in. I always want to come up with some sort of narrative, like a storyline on Monday mornings. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch the fight. And because it was such a close fight, I bet I can spin it and argue for Kattar. That was when I knew you won already. That was my plan. And I sat down, I had my notepad. I'm like, all right, let's see what we can do for Kattar here. And I watched him like, I can do nothing. Kattar did not win this fight. It was just, you did your thing, man. It was so goddamn impressive. And more so than anybody, Kattar is an absolute monster, man. He's an absolute savage out there, but you just did the goddamn thing, man.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I give my opponents the utmost respect before fights because I watch a lot of film on them, and Kattar is a dog. Like I knew I was going to be in for a hell of a fight. Look at the guys he's fought. Look at the guys he's beat, and his performances. He kind of reminds me of like Holloway and Volkanovski. How like those guys, they continue to get better and better. Like he took a year off. He came back and had a amazing performance against Giga that a lot of people were counting him out against. But I was like, Kattar is going to shut down that kickboxing. He's going to pressure him, use his boxing. And he did just that and implemented some wrestling. And he looked good on the ground as far as jiu-jitsu as well. But when I got in there, I just, it's different. I want to get hit by someone. I want to get hit by them. I want to see how hard they hit. I want to feel see how fast they are. I want to like tie up in the clinch and see how strong they are. So it's like, I give them this respect. But once I got in there, I didn't really see anything that I wasn't expecting. And I spar with some of the top guys in the world. Even boxing, I've been boxing and sparring some of my friends that are pro boxers, and they're really good. And so it's like punches and bunches. Those guys hit, they hit much harder, and the punches do not stop. It's like we're sparring.
Yeah, the volume.
Yeah, the volume's insane. It's like we're sparring 3-minute rounds, but that entire 3 minutes is just punches after punches, and they're hard shots. So I knew I was prepared. And I can box, man. If we throw on some boxing gloves and you watch me go to a boxing gym and spar these, I can shell up and I can sit in the pocket and slip and roll and, go to work. But MMA is different. So I know like boxing and MMA it's a little different, but
for sure.
Once I got in there, I felt his power. He wasn't as fast as I thought he was, and the thing with my boxing coach, Joey, he gets pissed just because he's like, move your fucking head. Even though I was like, man, the powers, I just felt like he didn't have as much power as I thought he was going to have. Yeah. And then, so he was still telling me, move your fucking head. Like, don't get hit with that. When I was moving and just like keeping good head movement, then I was making him miss. But, he is a good dude. I knew going in there, I was going to be in a hell of a fight. Afterwards, I have nothing but respect for Kattar, his coaches, his teammates. And he's a really good guy too. He had some nice things to say after the fight. And, I wish him nothing but the best in his career. Yeah.
You're both good guys. And you don't do the kind of WWE shit talk thing, which, I enjoy. I think, you guys' talents speak for themselves. And that's also why, your road to the title shot has come just through hard work and beating the best guys in the world. But when you look at the division, you got Ortega, Yair Rodriguez. There could be an argument there where the winner of that, especially if Yair to win that, I don't think he does, but if Yair to win that, he would get a title shot, So I guess there's nobody better that is in this room to kind of give us picks on Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega, and then Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Where you at on those?
Yeah, it's even with Volkanovski and Holloway, I feel like both great fighters. Max was arguably one of the best featherweights of all time, but it's hard for me to go against Volkanovski. He's on a 20+ fight winning streak. The guy is undefeated in the UFC. He's beat some of the legends and the all-time greats. And he continues to get better and better with each showing. So I'm kind of leaning towards him, And then as far as Ortega and Yair, again, great fighters. It's more of a, the old school striker versus grappler, but Ortega, he's a big featherweight too. He's got some power he can crack. And it's like his wrestling's getting better, everything. So it's like, I really hate picking fights.
Me too, man.
I can argue how both guys win.
Me too.
I can argue how Yair gets the job done. I can argue how Ortega gets the job done. But I think at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Ortega as well. He's super durable. I feel like he has some of the best grappling in not even just the featherweight division. I feel like in the entire UFC, his jiu-jitsu. So I feel like if he can get his hands on him or wrap his arms around his neck, or, if he were to rock Yair and he shoots, then it's like, but who the hell knows? We'll find out once the bell.
That's the thing. Picking fights in MMA. I talked to this pro betting guy, and he goes, to be honest with you, the only sport I don't bet on is MMA.
Yeah.
He goes, your odds of coming out on top or having, a successful betting career in MMA is the worst out of any professional sport. He goes, there's just too many variables. Yeah. He's like, you never know. There's too many ways to lose. Something could happen. The weight cut. He's like, I don't like putting my money on MMA. It's too tough to pick. And when I heard that from an expert, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. That makes me feel better if I do pick and I'm always wrong. But it's a tough sport to bet on, man, because you never know what's going on. But going back to Ortega Yair, one would argue it's better for you if Ortega wins.
Yep.
Yeah,
no, I agree. And it's the same thing. So I'm like, okay, I never want to, I don't wish anyone to lose because we're all trying to accomplish the same thing. But for me being, I guess, selfish and just wanting it to like,
gotta be.
Yeah, I feel like I do that within my training and when I isolate myself from my friends and family. But it's like, I would say Volkanovski wins and Ortega wins. Like then there's no other fight to make but myself and Volkanovski. But then again, I feel like either one of those guys that win, then they're on a 1-fight winning streak. And I know with the UFC, they keep the guys, they just stick them there and they stay there, whether they're inactive for a year, 2 years, they come off one win, they're right there in the top 3. They don't move them. And so that's the thing. I feel like we've seen these fights already. I'm the only one that has not fought for the title. Okay. And I feel like I said, I earned it. No one deserves shit in life, but I earned this. And, that's the fight to make. And stylistically, Volkanovski and I match up so similar. And he's a great champion. He seems like a good dude. And for once, I would actually have the height advantage, not by much, but it would be nice to actually be the taller fighter for once in my career. I don't think I've ever fought anyone shorter than me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I think, knowing what you've accomplished, stuff like that, I would assume you would want Volkanovski to beat Max Holloway just because it's Volkanovski. He's the king of the division, and if you're going to become champ, you want to take out the top dog. So for you to take out a guy like Volkanovski, there's nothing bigger. So if Volkanovski were to get past, the fight this Saturday, and you get that fight, that's probably the fight. If I'm you and I'm in your camp, Max Holloway is a big name no matter what. Max wins that. The only thing, if I'm in your camp, I'm not saying you're doing this, but if I'm in your camp, I'm rooting for Volkanovski because Max wins. Let's say it's another close decision. Even though he's 0-2, he wins this one. The UFC is going to want to run it back, maybe depending. So it ties you up longer. So if Volkanovski can win, the Max Holloway Volkanovski story is over. If he's 0-3, it's just going to be a tough picture to paint again for the 4th time.
Yeah, I feel like it solidifies that. Yes. And then Volkanovski, like you said, he's one of the pound for pound best too. So in my eyes, like I really want to fight the best because I always rise to the occasion. They always bring out the best in me, and then I can show people how good I am. I still got all these naysayers and things like that, but I love being the underdog, and I love proving people that don't know me wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Those naysayers, I don't know how long they're going to stick around when you look at your record and just over your entire career. It's not like you're some, newbie. Like, if I'm big on Patty Pimlet or Sugar Sean O'Malley, and I'll have people arguing about them. That's fine. I get that. They haven't, had the career you've had in the UFC. So I'm like, no, I can see how you say that, but I still defend them. With you, there's not much to go on. It's pretty fucking evident, dude. Like, clearly the guy has worked his fucking tail off, won the big fights, beat some of the best in the division. You're on this crazy win streak. So there's not really a narrative there to say, oh, he hasn't earned it or he shouldn't be in the top 5. It's like, I listen, around, and I have my share of haters around the water coolers I'm around. Nobody's saying this, dude. Everyone's like, yeah, Emmett's the next guy, man. Well,
yeah, no, I agree. I appreciate it.
And how do you think your life would change if you became champ? I mean, I'm assuming that's your house, unless you're on some stage right now. I assume that's your crib. I mean, pretty nice crib. You got you married. You got your girl, right?
Yep.
Kiddos?
Yeah. No kids. We're like we're the only ones out of all of our friends that don't have kids yet. We have godchildren. We have nephews. It's just tough. That was always the plan like 6 years ago. And then it's like, now we finally, once I got in the UFC and we can actually do things that we always kind of dreamed of. We like really love our life.
We like our freedom.
Yeah. But we're also like, we have that discussion like nonstop all the time. And we're like, we know in the next year or so, we don't want children, but we also don't want to get to the point where we have any regrets. You know what I mean? So it's it's a fine line. You're talking about a father of 2, and don't get me wrong, it's a beast, but I've done a lot of cool shit in my life, man. Nothing's better than being a dad, dude. And my argument for you is you're a good person. We need more Josh Emmetts in the world, so that's why you should have kids. Yeah, and trust me, we're getting it from everyone, and we're just like, we love to travel. We want to, all of our friends and stuff that have, kids are just like, enjoy your time, like go travel first, get that out of the way. But it's like, yeah, regardless, we're going to be happy regardless, but it's,
you'll be all right. You don't want to be the Seth Rogen of MMA. You know what I'm saying? He's just like smoking weed and traveling all the time. Cause take from a guy who travels nonstop as a comic, after a while, all the hotels look the same. I could be doing shows in Ukraine or freaking Dubai. I have no clue. Every city looks the same, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to your question, it would change our life. And I knew this win over Kattar would kind of start the process. And we're just doing so much. So it's like the better, obviously I do in my career, the better my family and friends and every business I'm a part of does. We're in the process right now. We're building a place in our backyard for my mom. We moved like 2 months ago. And then I got the biggest fight. We were dealing with permits since September. We were doing all our like inspections and all these other things. And I have, one of my good friend, Brandon, one of my best friends, he's being the GC of the project right now. And he's helping line everything up and all the subs. So it's been a chaotic, few months, but it's like, yeah, all that will pay off, and becoming the champion, he'll just be able to get out of debt, pay everything off, and then start. I don't need anything like flashy. I know what I want, so it's just like you'll never catch me buying like crazy expensive cars or like clothes. I just want to take care of my friends and family, and just enjoy the experiences and life, and just have a good time. Invest my money wisely. That's for sure. Yeah, no, you seem like a smart dude. I love that, man. Yeah, and for the viewers out there who don't know, is Josh lives in Sacramento. So to get a permit in California to do anything is a nightmare. It takes forever, dude. It took forever. September we were doing this, and then we finally got our permits. I want to say like, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, and then like the very next day we started demo. And that's fast though. That's fast. Like Bill Maher was talking about, he wanted solar panels, and to get like the permit stuff, he's waited years, dude. Some people wait years. I have this wall thing I've been dealing with for 4 years. And we're even doing with like, you're talking about solar. It's like, even in California, it's like every unit needs some so we had to get a solar report and do this other, hire we went through like tons of loops just to get all this stuff kind of situated. But at least with it taking some time, we just got another quote on lumber this morning. So I know the lumber price has gone down a little bit.
Thank God.
So yeah, that's awesome. But this is pricey.
It's a beast. Yeah. The fight you're fighting with these permits and stuff to build this thing for your mom is probably gonna be tougher than your fight against Volkanovski, my man.
Oh, for sure.
It's a different animal.
Yeah,
mentally. Yeah, I'll get you out of here on this. How important has it been to train at Team Alpha Male with Uriah Faber? I love Uriah. Uriah's a good buddy. How has that been for you? Because Team Alpha Male, you guys, if you think about Team Alpha Male and the kind of the evolution of Team Alpha Male, I don't know how many years ago, Team Alpha Male was, especially when Uriah was fighting, at TJ there, at Cody, you just have these monsters. And then till now, like, is it weird for you to be the biggest name out of Team Alpha Male when you think about all the legendary fighters that come out of there?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm super grateful for Uriah. I'm from Sacramento, so I'm grateful he opened one of the best teams for the lighter weights in the world in my backyard. I really don't think I'd be fighting if he didn't do that. Just because I had no money. Like, there's no way I could have traveled somewhere to pursue this dream of mine that took over a decade to get in the UFC. So I really don't think I'll be fighting if he didn't open this gym. But I was there since the beginning. Like in 2005 when he opened it, I was in there. Like, I was training. I was the main training partner for, my coach now, Danny Castillo, when he was making his UFC debut against Joe Daddy Stevenson.
Oh, wow.
I've been like TJ's, training partners, Uriah's, Chad Mendez when he was fighting Jose Aldo. And this is when I was like 1-0 as an amateur, so I kind of knew where I stacked up this whole time. And we've had people from all over the world come in to train with us, and I would go with them. And even back in the day, I think when I was a professional 1 or 2-0, I told Uriah I only wanted to fight in the UFC, nothing else. And he's like, it's going to take some time to do that. But he says, you're one of the best fighters in the world. Just nobody knows it yet. And that was over a decade ago. Oh, wow. So he was right. And so it kind of went over my head. I was like, yeah, well, what's this? Yeah, right. But then I look back at it now and I'm like, he has an eye for talent. Like, he recruited all these guys, and he saw potential in me. And look at the people like Benavidez, Dillashaw, Mendez, Last Call, and the list goes on and on. And they're all great fighters. I wish them all the best. I've learned from every single one of them.
Phenomenal fighters. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool to look back and him say that to me. And then now I'm like, where I'm at, I'm like, damn, this guy, it's like he has a crystal ball or something.
Yeah. Uriah's like the P. Diddy for MMA, man. He just puts people on, and he's such a business savvy dude. I love Uriah, man. Well, and it must be special that, you're the top dog there now, man. Everyone's talking about you, and I think one of the reasons why I just dig your whole story is you haven't been given anything. It's not these hot promos or this weird kind of, press stuff you're doing or talking shit on social media. Like, you went about the long road, and you've earned it, man. And we're rooting for you here. And, hopefully, Saturday makes things a little clearer for you. And I pray to God you get the next title shot, man. I really do. I hope that works out for you, man.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And then, let me know. I want to hop on that Food Truck Diaries.
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. Let me know. Do you know around what time you're coming down here?
No, I'm not sure. I know I was talking to your producer, and I was just trying to map it out whenever we head down there, or vice versa.
If it's up to us, I can shit. When we get off, my producer's right here. We'll talk right now, and we'll make it happen, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down whenever, man. I'm all about the good food, and I feel like that's where all our money goes, is good food and travel.
100%, dude. Most of the overhead on Thick Boys from these goddamn food trucks, so we're doing all right.
I can get up there too. I gaining weight's no issue for me. Losing the weight's a little challenging, but I could pack on the pounds.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Exact same problem. Well, we got good food trucks out in LA, man. So we'll make it happen. And hopefully we're talking about announcing your freaking, title shot. That's the plan, dude. So wish you the best, brother. Keep working your ass off. You got a fan here, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take care. Let's take another little break about talking about fights because I did a little ad for you here. Last one, kids, because UFC 276 is here. You can watch it on the pay-per-view. You can watch the Cowboys Fight Campaign at 7 p.m. Pacific on the Thick Boy YouTube with me and my squad. Whatever you want to do. You're going to watch it. You can make bank with my friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. New customers can bet $5 on any fighter to win and get $100 in free bets, win or lose. Whether it's Izzy with a sick knockout or Cannonier gets done via decision, you win no matter what. And with DraftKings same-game parlays, you can turn another small bet into a big payday. You can bet on my boosted parlay, and my fighters for this UFC 276 are Izzy, Sugar Sean, and Brian Barberina. If you pick those three, they all three have to win. Brian is the only slight dog in that, but if you pick all three of them to win, you're going to get even more money, dude. That's how it works, all right? Combine multiple bets like which fighter will win, number of knockouts, and more for UFC 276. You can place a same-game parlay. If it hits, you win double, like my freaking parlay with the three fighters I just mentioned. Izzy, Sugar, Brian, get it done. Click on the Schaub picks. You click on it. It will boost your odds automatically. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code Schaub, SCHAUB. You bet $5 on any UFC 276 fighter to win. You get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's code Schaub this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. DraftKings, promo code Schaub. There you have it, man. Mr. Josh Emmett, dude has gone the long route to a freaking title shot. Again, I think it's all predicated off of, if Yair Rodriguez was able to get like a highlight reel finish over Ortega, they might give it to him over Emmett. And then if Max Holloway were to win, I think they do an immediate fourth fight between Max and Volkanovski. So there's some X factors that I think could delay Emmett getting his title shot, Because if Brian Ortega wins and then, let's say, Max wins, I think they would do Emmett versus Ortega for the title eliminator. So there's some variables in there that he's working against, but he definitely deserves it, man. Hopefully he gets it.
All right, so the first one, you guys covered this on the hot takes, right? As far as Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, actually the fight's back on.
Yeah, it was off 6th. And now it's back on August 6th. Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and so there's a few wrinkles there. So I guess Tommy Fury's dad and Tyson Fury can't get into the country, so he's not going to have them in the corner.
Okay.
But anyways, Tyson Fury wanted to bet $100,000 to Jake Paul.
$100,000.
And then Jake Paul, I'll just play Jake Paul's video to you real quick.
All right, everyone, wait for it. So this is what Tyson Fury just said in an interview. Check it.
I'm backing Tommy. I put my money where my mouth is. I've got 100 grand with anybody. I put it on Tommy, and that's it. That's how I feel about it.
So, guys, Tyson Fury, who made $40 million last year, is willing to bet $100K on his brother. Oh, my God. We're shaking. Hey, Tyson, you fucking pussy. You made $40 million. I know it wasn't as much as me. But let's up the ante. Let's bet $1 million on it, Tyson. $2 million, $3 million, however much you want to fucking bet. Let's do it. Are you down? Make a deal. See, I can tell when someone's really not confident because these pussy motherfuckers, Twitter and the internet, whoever's watching, they're in here. They're all on this Twitter app. They're scared. I can tell when they're scared. But me, I'm a cold motherfucker. I'll bet anyone, anytime, any place. Let's run it up. So fuck your 100K. Let's make this a better bet and make it worth a couple million. Are you down?
I'm with them, man. When I heard 100K, I'm like, oh, they're clearly not too confident in their boy.
Considering how much he's worth.
Yeah, dude.
But here's how Tyson responded.
Looking like a
This is a message to Jake Paul. Hey, Jakey boy. I hear you want to bet a bigger bet than $100,000. You want a bigger bet, motherfucker? You want $1 million?
Yeah, he's a betting man.
Let's do it. Holla at your boy. You want $1 million? You got it.
You got it. I don't know why you talk like that. Whatever.
They're both talking a little bit, yeah.
Jake's shoes were fire. Those off-white dunks. Yeah, I mean, 100 grand. It's like, what are we doing here, man? Hold on. Scroll up. What did Jake say? And hey, Jake, I want to see his $1 million in escrow, sucker, because I don't think you've got a. Oh, wow. So he put, hey, I hear you're a bigger bet. You want a bigger bet mother trucker. You want $1 million? Let's do it. Holler at your boy. You want $1 million? You got it. And hey, Jakey, I want to see this $1 million in escrow, sucker, because I don't think you've got $1 million. Come on, Tyson. I ain't talking about crypto. I'm talking about real U.S. greenbacks, mother trucker, real U.S. dollars, no crypto. Yeah, I'm with Tyson too. I don't want any of that bullshit. Don't try to give me FT, crypto, Dogecoin, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. I need a straight up $1 million in escrow. But of course, he has $1 million, Tyson.
Yeah. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but so I guess Mike Tyson said that he would want to box Jake Paul, and Jake Paul, like, we should make this happen.
Yeah,
like, by the end of this year.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, it's going to happen. So yeah, I don't see what it does for Jake. You know, if you fight obviously there's no kind of circus shows when you're fighting Ben Askren, when you're fighting freaking Woodley twice. Now you're fighting Tommy Fury, who's a quote unquote real boxer. You know, so to me, the Mike Tyson thing, like, give that to Logan Paul, Jake. Let Logan do that. The thing make all the money. For Jake, I don't see how this pushes his career in the right direction. If that makes sense. Big money play, maybe people will watch, but as far as getting the accolades and the credentials that you want and the confirmation from the fight fans, this ain't gonna do it. I'm not too crazy about it.
Yeah, and I wonder how Jake would do against Tyson too. Like, I don't know.
Tyson's a lot older, dude.
That's true. But
and then also, what are you gonna go off of him versus freaking Roy Jones, which was.
Yeah, well,
there's a gentleman's bet, not to, it's kind of glorified sparring match. So
if it's like that, then hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like it for Jake.
All right. Also, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. Apparently, people are saying that they're talking to do a rematch in boxing.
I don't.
You're out of it?
Yeah, I don't want it. No, I don't want to see it, because you got to think about it. The first one. Here's the thing. Will it make money? Yes, of course. Will it make the same money and get the same traction as the first one? Not fucking close. You're talking about Conor McGregor. Obviously, my job on Showtime was to sell you guys on how Conor can win. You know, we've seen the fight. You know, it's a very tough fight for Conor, and that was Conor in his prime. Now he's older, coming off, some surgeries, some, issues with the law. I'm all set, man. And for Floyd, it's like he's fighting sparring partners. He's fighting guys we've never heard of. He's fighting Dubai. He's fighting here and here. It's just these money grabs, man, and inflation too. What are we doing? Inflation. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking insane. I don't want to see that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know how excited I'd be.
Dude, Conor has such bigger fish on his plate, like legit fights that he needs to get done and get back on the right path. This, to me, is another distraction, right? It's another distraction, bro. You got maybe a Tony Ferguson, get a win, and then there's Charles Oliveira. There's all these other fights. Now, when Conor's 40, if you want to take that fight, when Floyd's 70 or where the fuck he is, do that. But anytime in the next 3 years, Conor, you got so much other shit you got to do inside that UFC octagon. Forget Floyd Mayweather, man. I don't want to see that bullshit.
Yeah. All right, what do you think of this? This is Tyson Chartier. This is Kattar's coach, and this is what he thinks about. This is his view of a new scoring system that he thinks will work.
Only 429 likes. So his new scoring system. He says each round winner determined by judges' majority, meaning at least 2 of the 3 judges scored the round for you. Majority winner of the round gets 1 point. Loser gets 0. Open scoring. Stall calls available with possible point deduction. Dealer fighters on scoring cards from coasting at the end. That's what Pride did. No must system. A truly close round can be determined 0-0. Winners determined by whichever fighter gets more total points. I like some of this stuff. My favorite thing is the must system. Mm-hmm. So a no must system, truly a close round. If it's so competitive, these judges don't have the ability to decide exactly who's going to win. I'm fine with a 0-0 round. Mm-hmm. Sometimes those rounds are fucking closer. Maybe some guy does something really good and early in the round, the end of the round, they get taken down. So, there's some of these rounds 0-0, I'm all for it. But the rest of it's tough.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is a good thing though, the no must system. I agree. You covered this a little bit or a lot on Hot Takes, but so remember Nate Diaz. So Dana White was saying how Nate Diaz only won a few fights.
Threw some shade.
Yeah.
But he threw some shade, but it's also very black and white.
Yeah, it is true.
It's just like a numbers thing. It's like if Roger Goodell, if people were like, why aren't the Cowboys in the Super Bowl? And he's like, they've won like one playoff game in like 15 years, dude. What do you want me like? Yeah, they're the most popular, but that's not the way it works. So I to Dana's credit, I'm sure he's getting a lot of shit online, right? I'm sure people are like, hey man, people keep saying, when's Nate Diaz going to fight? How come he's not fighting for the title? How come he's not fighting this guy? At the end of the day, Dana's like, I get it. And we are in the entertainment business, but at the same time, he's won one fight in 6 years. Like, be cool, man. We have to be careful how we match him up because it's not like he's on a 6-fight winning streak. That'd be much easier to navigate these waters than what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And again, the Nate Diaz fan bros are so passionate about him, which is great for Nate. But at the same time, too, Dana has to run a business. So, I mean, should we just pretend he's hasn't won one fight in 6 years? Like, how should Dana handle that? Because those are facts. That sucks. And I don't think he's throwing shade, but Dana didn't lose those fights, So he goes, I mean, like Nate, let's be honest, Nate's won one fight in the last 5 or 6 years, you know that? When these guys get into these positions, guys that have been with us for a long time that we respect and we care about, you got the Cerrones, Anthony Pettis before he left, Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz is still under contract with us. You want to be fair to everybody and do the right things. Nate isn't going to fight Kamaru Usman. Listen, we are trying to do the best we can, trying not to shit on anybody and disrespect anybody. It's not like we're talking about Kamaru Usman here. We're talking about Nate Diaz. Nate's won one fight in 5 or 6 years, so we're trying to figure this thing out with him. He probably should go on and fight Jake Paul. Let's fight. That makes sense. I didn't take that as too much shade. I think that's him being honest. Like, hey, you guys want to know why it's taking so long? He's won one fight in the last 6 years, man. It doesn't make sense. Like we're still a professional sports league. We can't toss Nate Diaz to Kamaru Usman. It's not like he's coming off a win. Like what narrative or what picture would that paint in professional sports if we go, this guy's really famous though, but he's going to fight the greatest welterweight on the planet who's won how many in a row? UFC's in a tough position. But the rabid Nick Diaz fan base and Nate Diaz fan base just doesn't, they're relentless.
Yeah. So Nate responded with this tweet. Let's play the video.
At least I never really lost like all these fuckers. But here's the problem with posting the video where he rocked Leon Edwards with 30 seconds left. He lost that fight. To Dana's point, he's like, no, that was a cool moment. It was 50 seconds left in a 5-round fight that you completely lost. So it almost kind of helps Dana there. He's like, it starts with,
He's just showing how all the other guys got finished, but he's like, he didn't get finished. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. But then also, you're posting a video of Charles Oliveira choking out Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje has won a ton of fights.
Yeah.
Who else is he showing that?
Let's see here. So
it's Michael Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Michael Chandler's coming off a huge win.
Usman.
Yeah. Usman. Again, all these guys.
Connor, Dustin.
But again, all these guys are winning. Then he's posting a video of Dustin Poirier losing to Michael Johnson 7 years ago.
And then him winning versus Connor.
That was the last win. So this almost helps Dana White. Dana White's like, there you go. Yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I just, for both parties, Dana, just let him go. All right, if you're having such a tough time matching them up, which really is just buying time to Connor approves the fight, but just let him go. Like let him go on. Like even he said, Jake Paul, cool.
So this is Dan Hardy on Nate's side about just because of how disrespectful he feels it was disrespectful. You said it wasn't that disrespectful because it's true, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. If it wasn't true, if he was like, let's say Nate was on a five fight win streak, and Dana's like, we just can't find him a fight. No one fight. You're like, what? Yeah. He's one of the biggest names. He's won 5 fights. What the fuck you talking about? Give him a title shot. But again, Dana's not losing these fights. It's pretty black and white. It's just what it is, unfortunately. And I'm a Nate Diaz fan. Yeah. So this is Dan Hardy, who I love and respect. But this is the whole reason why there's a class action lawsuit against the UFC. People don't have any freedom. They don't have any control over their career. Think about this. Every single fighter on the UFC roster and everybody that's considered signing with the UFC, they need to really contemplate this. If Nate Diaz can be disrespected to the media by the promoter the way that he has been, they don't care about anybody. That's the sad reality of it. Like, if Nate wants his release, he should get his release. He's had enough stitches. He's made enough money for our organization. Let him go. If that means him going to make a bunch of money or fighting Jake Paul, then so be it. Even better, if the UFC have not got their hands in his pockets, I just don't know. Like, when I woke up the other day, I saw the thing about him winning one fight in 5 years and made me maybe the best person to fight is Jake Paul. It's just unnecessary disrespect. It's one thing when you get fighters disrespect one another because that's kind of part of the business, but when the promoter starts shitting on people like that, someone like Nate Diaz, who's a cult icon, it just looks bad. I can see Dan Hardy's point. I get what he's saying, especially Dana being the promoter, you know, and obviously Roger Goodell or some of these other guys who never do this.
He shit on people before, but this doesn't feel like actual shit.
This doesn't feel like shitting. Yeah. And the thing is, I agree with him where it's like, then let him go. But him saying, see, this isn't disrespect to me. So when I woke up that day, I saw the thing about him winning one fight in 5 years. Maybe the best person to fight is Jake Paul is unnecessary disrespect. Well, the one fight in 6 years is just pretty black and white. And then fighting Jake Paul, well, why did Dana even bring up Jake Paul? Well, Nate Diaz wants to fight Jake Paul. Posted a video going, let me go, so I got work to do. So Nate wants the Jake Paul fight. Dana's not throwing disrespect saying, well, the only guy Nate can beat is a YouTuber named Jake Paul. Well, that's not even Dana's idea. If I'm sure Dana would prefer Nate retires and just stops fighting. Nate wants to fight Jake Paul. That's not even Dana's idea. So there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways you can shit on Dana. He's said a lot of things, but you can shit on. But this is, I don't get it. I really don't. This one I don't get. I do agree where if he wants his release, he should get released. If you can't find him a fight, if that's a final fight, let him go because he can do the Nate or the Jake Paul fight, like you said. The other thing though is it's a business, and Nate did sign the contract. So, so is it okay for the fighter not to honor the contract? What if the UFC didn't honor the contract? Yeah. Is it cool if we just don't honor contracts? Like, it's a fine. I definitely think they should release Nate Diaz if he's that unhappy. The UFC can't find him fights. Dana doesn't need to say this. Just let him go and let him fight Jake Paul. But also, as a guy who runs a business, if we're just not honoring contracts, the entire business model's fucked. So what if Conor has 2 fights left on his contract, 6-fight deal, and goes, I don't want to do those. I want to go fight Jake Paul. And if you let Nate out of his contract, well, that's going to start that. And then everybody else can be like, yeah, I don't want to do it either, man. I'm going to fight these YouTubers. And then the UFC's like, well, fuck, man. What are we going to do? Like, there has to take some responsibility on Nate's part. Like, you did sign the contract, though, my man. Like, there's something to that, you know?
Yeah.
I get both sides. It's dicey. But also, if I'm the UFC and Nate's that unhappy and just keeps you on the business, let him go, man.
Yeah. Would there even be a way for the fighters like to come to an agreement of like giving them money to leave? You know, like buying out their contract.
Like a payout?
Yeah, payout.
Like giving the UFC money?
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets dicey too because most fighters don't have that much money. And then also with Nate, maybe does have the money. It's like, all right, Dana, I'm going to give you whatever, $5 million because I'm going to pass on the Conor fight and go fight Jake. It's tough.
Yeah,
just let him go, dude.
Yeah.
You know? But again, for the UFC as a business, you can't just let guys out of the contract because that's going to start a fucking snowball effect.
Yeah.
Because then every lawyer's going to be like, well, you let Nate out, you know, so the UFC does have to run a business. It sucks for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation for everybody. And also, you know, Dan Hardy comes from a different perspective too. You know, he's had his issues with the UFC. They let him go, you know.
Yeah. All right, this is pretty sad, but Bigfoot fought. Had no idea he was fighting over this past weekend.
Why
but
does he keep doing it, man?
He keeps doing it, and he got knocked out
He's
again.
1-10.
Yeah.
His last 1-10-1 in his last 12 fights. Ugh.
Yeah. So here's that KO.
Ну что ж, ставка на борьбу от Олега продолжит работать или нет? Прицеливается
The dude
Бигфут.
landed 52 after 56 punches. Bigfoot's only thrown 5 punches.
Just saw that.
Holy shit.
That's bad.
Пытается
It's only
прессинговать
the
сразу же.
second-
О, какое попадание навстречу, и все! Кончено! Один удар, и как же
That's
So he's out
Bigfoot
cold.
rushing in and just got caught. It's tough, man. I wish he would stop.
7th straight loss.
5th straight time he's been stopped.
stopped.
God damn. And
Yeah.
these kids, man. Yeah, I hate to see it. What else you got, man?
Let's end on this one. It's kind of a funny one here. Not this one. Right, no, let's look at another knockout real quick. If I can find it. Okay, this is a pretty cool knockout.
Oh,
Yeah.
just bad timing on Homeboy's part.
Welterweight,
He just
and he doesn't
bent
care.
down.
Yeah, that was a crazy kick. And so this fighter won over the past weekend at the Shavkat fight. This guy. I find him super funny, so check him out.
Why he looks like a combination of Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira. This guy must think that Dustin and Charles are the two best good-looking guys ever, so thank you. I understand when people say foolish things to promote themselves, but this guy is pretty idiotic. I haven't said anything idiotic. When I talk trash, it's not trash talk, it's fact talk. When I say Ego sucks, that's a fact. I'm not promoting anything. He does suck. What do you want from me? Don't take it up with me. Take it up with him. Who is this jabroni talking so much crap? I think you know exactly who the fuck I am. Everybody knows who I am by now. If you don't, where the fuck you been? Who are you? He's Colby 2.0. No, I've addressed this before. I'm not Colby 2.0. He's got a shtick. He's fake. Nothing about me is fake. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Guy Fieri's fit nephew from the Jersey Shore. That's actually fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Props on that tweet. But if I saw you in person, I'd still have to beat the fuck out of you. Wait, who is he? Like, seriously? I mean, like, seriously, yeah, you know exactly who the fuck I am, but you can plan it on Twitter that you don't know who I am. Everybody knows who I am, brother. He sounds like Eddie Alvarez after he sucked off a helium balloon. Kind of funny. Again, say that to my face. I'm not a hard guy to find. Go down to Fort Lauderdale, look for a guy with a sick tan, great hair, surrounded by beautiful women. Come say it to my face, and we'll see what happens.
He's funny.
So that was the Bellator card, my bad. But yeah, he fought over the weekend.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he did well. But yeah.
Yeah, something about him.
Danny
Dude,
Sabatello.
Yeah, because not fake, is it? Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, and he's fast too.
Yeah, I like him. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, kids. There you have it, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Josh Emmett chimed in, gave us a little breakdown on the featherweight division, and he thinks he gets the next title shot. But you have a big boy this freaking Saturday, UFC 276. We are doing a Calabas fight campaign that starts at 7 p.m. Pacific on the Thick Boy Network. We have some great guests. I can't wait to do this. It's been a hot second since we've done a fight companion, and there couldn't be a better card to do it. The main card, man, right now you got 4 fights. You got Pedro Munhoz, Sean O'Malley, Sean Strickland, Alex Pereira, Alex Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Izzy, and Jared Cannonier is your main event. It is a phenomenal fight. My DraftKings picks are, if you click on the tab at the top, you get my parlay and we go back to the main one. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Mm-hmm. You get my parlay, and my parlay will be, listen, I will take, I'm picking it right now. I will do Izzy, Sean O'Malley, and Brian Barberina is my, they're going to boost your parlay. So all 3 have to win in order for you to make bank, but it will boost your odds way up. So if you bet 100, you win, a few $100 there. Bet 1,000, you win even more. So, yeah, there you have it. Izzy, Sean O'Malley, and Brian Barberina. Brian Barberina is the only dog, and he's a minus 105, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, it's Robbie Lawler. So you never know what's going to happen. So enjoy the fights. Tune in. Watch the Cowboys Fight Campaign on Thick Boy YouTube only. That's at 7 p.m. Pacific with a great lineup. And yeah, man, enjoy UFC 276 this mother trucking Saturday. For the Trash Panda Summer Tour, we're striking back up in July 14th through 16th. I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne, Indiana, never been. Looking forward to it. Brand new club, July 14th through 16th. San Diego's also in July. That's July 21st through the 23rd. That's at the Laugh Factory, downtown San Diego. Baltimore, Maryland is August 4th through the 6th. Appleton, Wisconsin, September 8th through the 10th. And September, we have Houston and Boston. Get your tickets at fatkz.com or thickboy.com. But Fort Wayne, Indiana, and San Diego, Europe this month, July. Trash Panda Summer Tour. Let's ride. That's it, kids. Enjoy UFC 276. Tune into the Fight Campaign, 7 p.m. Pacific live, or you can watch it the next day on Thick Boy YouTube. Be safe. Enjoy the fights. Love you guys. I'm out.